friends. Welcome to Oneness Meditation Qatar's Wisdom Sharing Sessions. Let's do meditation for some time with a beautiful music. Please close your eyes, clasp your hands, be with your normal, natural, and easy breath, my dear friends. Just be with your breath. If any thoughts are coming in between, please cut the thoughts. Gently bring back your attention to the normal, natural breath. Just be with your breath, friends. Invite all your astral masters, spirit guides, just feel the energies, masters. Hello, Masters. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Oneness Meditation Wisdom Sharing Sessions. Today, we will discuss about mutual relations. Okay. Just please someone say whether you will be able to see my screen. Is it visible? Hello. Um, is the screen visible, friends? Yes, no.
Yeah, visible.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we can see it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, today we will discuss about mutual relationships and how to maintain harmonious relationships. Okay. One second, Master. Sorry for the interruption. Yeah. So let's discuss about mutual relations and how if we maintain the relationship, then the relationship will be harmonious. That we will discuss today. Actually, for maintaining proper relationships, everybody wants a proper relationship, right? A proper understanding of mutual relationships is essential to enjoy a happy and healthy life, right? These relationships, where we can observe these relationships among friends, couples, parents, and children, right? And these relationships are binding forces in the society. When these relationships get strained, we observe that social bondage gets adversely affected and could potentially lead to physical disorders. Okay, always spiritual intellect is the root and physical health is the fruit. So, whatever our emotions and our thoughts will definitely reflect upon our physical body. So, that's why we need to maintain harmonious relationships. Okay, however, when one maintains healthy relations, in practice, absolute bliss will be the outcome. Once we maintain healthy relationships, automatically we maintain that blissful state. That means we always feel blissful if we could be able to maintain harmonious relationships. Okay, thus one needs to be aware of the importance of these relationships and identify the cause where the relationships are broken and work on mending these. We shall now understand how spiritual tablets plays a role in mutual relationships. The spiritual tablet called Five Binders of Relationships explains the following methodologies for key as a key for the relationship management. We will learn in detail about this tablet as per five tablet series. These concepts are from five spiritual tablet series. Now we will learn in detail. In order for happiness and intimacy to exist between any two people, they must be fully acquainted with these five key aspects. Wherever applicable, one must appropriately put into practice one or more of these aspects, thereby maintaining pleasant interactions. These are the five aspects. First one is these are five aspects or five binders of relationships. Okay, first one is absolute and unconditional love. The second one is endurance or tolerance or bearing. The third one is conveyance. Fourth one is support. And fifth one is carrying. Now, friends, let us look all these one by one. Irrespective of the nature of the relationship, we find these five types of bonds exist among the people. What can be the nature of the relationship? Either either they can be mm, friends, couples, or parents or children, anyone, and these kind of binders will exist with everyone. That's what it is saying. Okay, we find these five types of bonds exist among people. Okay, it is also known as Fevicol concept or binders. Okay, when communicating with anyone, there is a always chance that we go overboard or we are influenced by circumstances, or we can have some emotional outburst, and it finally it will affect adversely on our relationships and social health, right? We cannot know, like these can be the reasons. Okay, so it is important for us to understand these concepts in detail. First, if there is any relationship problem with anyone, first we need to have this quality, this binder we need to have. That quality is unconditional love. Okay, first one is unconditional love. This parameter is the foremost quality one has to cultivate. It is an inner potential that pervades through all beings, irrespective of their intelligence. Everybody has that unconditional love. Everybody has, right? But first, uh, we should be able to maintain that love aspect. Okay, the unknown and unidentifiable thread that sews all the livings as well as non-living world is universal love. Okay, this is like it's a binding force. Basically, it's a binding force which is not visible, but it exists. That is called universal love. We need to understand that universal love is part of Vasudaika Kutumbam, which means universal family. Thus, for every single creature, those unconditioned and invisible threads of love that exist between us are the very ones that sustain true love. Okay, and there must be no enmity inside us, and we must behave neutrally even if we do not meet the enemy outside. Okay, externally we may behave according to the person, but internally we should have a love for everyone. We can be very harsh or rude to someone externally, but here harsh or rude in the sense only externally, not internally. We should definitely identify that. Mm, uh, uh, I mean, we should discriminate between the outside love and inside love, outside harshness and inside harshness. We can be harsh outside, like how with the kids we will be very harsh or rude sometimes, like rude, not rude or harsh. I mean, it's a kind of like for their well-being only. We tend to use some words which may feel harsh, but internally we have how we have we do not carry negative emotion with anyone, with our children. In the same way with others also, we should not carry even negative emotion for him or her inside. Okay, and this is required for our health and happiness, as we know internal negative emotions like jealousy, anger burns our own health. Okay, this is for our good only. And considering the fact that we are conscious and everything on this earth is consciousness, and we should have love for every atom on this earth. That's the first and foremost quality everybody should have. Okay, and the second aspect is endurance or tolerance. The second type of bond to have in a relationship is patience. We need to understand that we can have universal love with the other person only when we can love and patiently wait for those who are spiritually part of our soul's material inside, no matter how much they trouble us in practice, because we are all spiritual beings, means we are all energy, consciousness, wisdom units. Okay, um, so that's why we should tolerate. We should tolerate. We should have the patience inside us. Okay, if you have a problem with something, wait a few days and then truth will come out. Okay, if you feel that there is a problem, okay, there is a problem due to that particular relationship, you have to wait for a few days. Definitely, that truth uh, will be known in time. Okay, if we try to prove ourselves in a hurry, it is only natural that it will lead to something else like pumpkin thief, though obviously trying to pretend not knowing who the thief is by shrugging his shoulders. In the sense, it's a saying in Telugu. Basically, it's been translated in English. That 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 means it is no hurry is required, and the truth will be known in time. Okay, so the truth needs some time to come out. The key is to wait patiently for the time. Thus, tolerance on this earth was formed as a virtue, when patience means that the problem will resolve itself. Okay, then there is a need to remember that the only thing we need to do is to be patient. Okay, if the patient can resolve the problem, then we can be we that patience is enough to solve the problem. Okay, but patience also has some limits, right? So once a level is crossed, the later may exhibit an extreme tendency or dominance. Okay, what should we do if they continue the same trend even after knowing the truth? Okay, even the truth is revealed, what we should do. The third stage or a binder is what is needed in such situations. Okay, the third one is conveyance. We have to let other people know what we are uh, feeling actually. There are four ways to do it. Those are Samadhana, Veda, and Dandopayal. Okay, if we use our mode of speech and convey what we wish to say, it is likely that they will change their behavior and be compatible with us. Okay, however, as an endeavor, we must implement all of the following. The Sama means gentleness or alliance, gently explaining things to other person through the context. Like we need to look for a particular context and particular time, then we should express the thing which we want to convey them. Okay, that is nothing but Sama. And the Dana means compensation or bribe. That means focusing on what the other person expects from us, basically. Why he is troubling us. Even the even the truth is revealed. Why he has to trouble us. What he is expecting us. Providing him with what he needs in advance and going his way. Telling him what he wants to do for his good. What we want to do. Like actually, it's like we are maintaining a relationship with him, right? What we want to do exactly for a change, gradually bringing about a change. Like we need to bring change in them gradually. Okay, it's like giving chocolates to young children and bribing them. It's not like bribing in the sense, it's a kind of compensation basically, so that he will slowly listen to us like that. And Beda means uh, when the above two methods do not help, even after applying the above two methods, still he or she is behaving in the same way. We need to stay away from them in silence, as if you have nothing to do with them anymore. Okay, we have to be again silent. Okay, it naturally causes a change in him. Okay, the fourth one is dand, punishment. Here, punishment, you have to, a little tricky it is. We have to, deeply understand this exactly by keeping universal love in our mind. Okay, attempting to change the outward display of anger in relation to the guru's disciples with harsh words or minor punishments, like how a guru give for disciples, like small punishments he gives, right, to keep the disciple in a righteous way. In the same way, we need to display some emotions like anger. Okay. Another important point here is the like power level punishment also can be given, but a yogi or meditator can do internally when it is not possible to give punishment physically. Okay, suppose if they are in their if the person is in our surroundings and mm, mm, if we can be able to give the punishment, okay, like showing some anger or something like that, if they change, that's okay. Okay, in the sense, mm, in the sense, by keeping that universal love always internally, okay, you are expecting a change in him or her. Okay, that's how you are doing it. Okay, so definitely, if you are doing with that kind of intention, saying that there should be some realization, so that it will help that particular soul to evolve spiritually or emotionally or physically or mentally in any of the aspect, that you have to remember and then give the kind of punishment, in the sense like showing anger showing anger outside only, not internally. So according to this, the emotions of anger, disgust and impatience caused by the negligence of the other person should not be taken in and expressed in words, and deeds should be left as if it were not his. Okay, into nature like a ball, like whatever emotions they show, uh, they show like in relationship it happens, right? They show some anger, like um, frustration or anything. Okay, uh, so we tend to carry them basically. As a spiritual people, we carry the other people's emotions also sometimes because we are neutral. Okay, neutral in the sense, mm, once the people who are with complete universal love, they can be only neutral because they always generate love from internally. Internally, if they generate love, it happens that they will be automatically neutral. The same kind of love vibrations only will generate through them. Okay, that is called a spiritual person basically. And if they are if the other person is creating some disturbance to us, means that is not uh, we feel the disturbance, but that is not ours, that is their disturbance. So we should maintain that neutrality wall around us by keeping neutral in our thoughts. Okay, whatever the emotions which he is expressing, okay, like the anger, disgust, or impatience we feel, right? Those emotions can be reflected back to them when we maintain that neutrality. Okay, once we maintain that neutrality, what happens? It reflects back to them. Okay, and that energy that also see uh, when we leave it out, in the sense we get out of it. Like once we could maintain that neutrality with our unconditional love here also, we are just reflecting back their emotions to them, that's it. Okay, what happens if we leave it out? We get out of it. Also, the energy left behind contributes perfectly to the transformation of the other person once it has crossed a certain critical level. A good experience or punishment brings a change. Okay, that is why it is said that the silence of yogi is unbearable. Okay, that means once we are neutral, what happens? Automatically, the nature creates some situation to that particular person so that the realization will start to come to that particular person. Okay, either if he is a spiritual person, he takes positive gifts from that person, from that particular situation, and he evolves spiritually. If still he is taking it in negative way only, then he will take it as a punishment only. Understood? It depends on the person's perception basically. If he takes it, nature teaches anyway a lesson. That realization, if he comes, he will ascend definitely. If the realization did not come, he will be in the same place only. But we should try to maintain that neutrality always. And if they continue in the same direction after being informed like this, then only nature will teach them a lesson. If they do not understand that lesson, they will go downhill. The fourth stage or binder is the effort we must exhibit in such a situation. Like if it is really critical, then only we should exhibit that kind of, uh, I mean, that kind of nature basically. Okay, and then the fourth one here is support. Okay, we look at the person being punished, or say openly or in our mind. No matter how much I explained, he did not listen and did what he liked. That is why this happened to him. Well, he deserves this. Okay, we should not say like this. We just behave in a rude manner. Okay, but what relationships in spiritual science suggest is that after helping a person who is in trouble and getting out of suffering, we should try to tell him the truth again and patiently correct him. Try to correct him, whether it is a financial aid or medical aid or social support or relief. Whatever is needed should be provided and help them to become a proper human being again. That is called support here. Okay, when we encounter the again, when we encounter the same thing, what we should do? That is explained in the last stage. That is nothing but carrying. Carrying it here is, thus, we want to distance ourselves from the bonds with those mentioned above or stay away from them. Okay, but what spiritual science here is saying that not to sever ties with anyone. We should not sever ties with anyone. We should not cut ties with anyone. Okay, we should continue to stay with them and we have to carry the relationship with us. Actually, we want to sever ties with them, but we can, it is nothing but spiritually, if you see, who can we distance ourselves from ourselves? That means when we consider ourselves as God, God means we need to inculcate everyone in ourselves. We should be able to accept everyone, right? The oneness concept indicates that we are all present, uh, with the uh, what is that ubiquitous god material, the same god material, basically same consciousness we made up of, right? And so even if the outsider looks different to us on outside, we are inseparable from him inside. Okay, physically we have the separation, but we are all same consciousness. Then once if we are all same consciousness, how it is possible to be different? Then it's not possible to be different, right? If we, that means, like, here some examples are mentioned here. If we take out a handful of water from the sea, it will still be a sea. Just without that handful of water, there is no difference, right? If we add that handful of water to the sea again, it will be mixed with the sea water, and we cannot even identify what we just added. It's in the same way. Okay? Hence, the soul material that is spread like an ocean all over the universe, if one decides to remove their mother in law, enemy, or business partner, or friend whom they did not like, how can the soul material even exist without them? What can this do? Putting aside or separating means we are separating a fistful of consciousness from our own consciousness. It means putting aside part of our own kind consciousness. That's how we have to justify ourselves as a spiritual person. That's what the spiritual science says, not justification. Actually, the spiritual science says this. We have to have that attitude of carrying. We can never go beyond this school that we call earth. So the person seeking salvation needs to realize that I am omnipresent and exist in everyone and everywhere. Even though I may have differences with other persons, I need to understand that the other person is made up of my own inner self, and that there is no way to separate or distance him from ourselves, and we have to take or carry him with us. I keep my doors open to you. I am with you as I am with everyone in the universe. If any day you feel the need to meet with me, I am ready for it. With the same feeling, you should take him forward, neutral, okay? Neutrally, by maintaining the neutrality, or carry him with you. When we are not hungry, we take our food in the carriage, and when we feel hungry, you can open it and eat it, right? That is too similar. In the same way, like how we here carrying in the sense like carriage, how we eat that food which has been packed in a carriage. In the same way, we have to carry that particular person. Like we here, it means that we need to keep our doors open for that particular person also. That means we are maintaining that neutrality. Hope everybody is getting right. Okay. Whenever we are able to fully implement these five concepts, such as having the philosophy of universal love, being patient, conveying, supporting, and carrying it with us, then we will be the ones who have a better understanding of all relationships, and we will be definitely healthy. And these are some soul scanning points, actually. Soul scanning in the sense, experiences related to Fevicol in real life are separation of any two surfaces that are stuck together. For example, the deco lamp separated from wood. Suppose if we see recurrent experiences from wood, and that surface is like the plastic sheet which has been attached to wood, wherever we see in hall or in anywhere, basically in hall, actually, if we see that kind of surfaces, we need to check ourselves that are we proper in our mutual relations or not. And this is object science, basically. And and connective tissue disorders, some types of skin diseases, especially diabetic patients and those who have devastating emotions, need to properly understand and practice these concepts. for all the connective tissue disorders and skin diseases, people also should apply these mutual relationship concepts, and diabetic patients also. And in when it comes to senior citizens and some and that too with the experience related to clock, we need to read these tablets 10 times a day and adjust our behavior accordingly. After learning the five principles mentioned above, it is very important to know and practice along with this. The four next tablets are the four spiritual tablets, like how to deal with enemies, relatives, friends, and spiritual sages. Okay, together we need to apply these concepts. Okay, uh, like if we are feeling any relationship issues, okay, to handle the interrelationships in the present society is basically, and problems with the mirror windows in the transport vehicles such as motorcycle, car, bus, etc. Okay, and similar problems with curtains, windows in the house are mainly related to the elements of the relationships actually. Similarly, the objects in the twin halls in the sense here, the living hall as well as the dining hall, should be identified as being related to this aspect. Hall represents always community. Suppose if there are any objects which are frequently, if you feel recurrent, I mean, negative experiences with that particular object, we need to definitely check ourselves. Okay, whenever the complaint comes from the above matters, we should observe in advance and correct our inner relationships, interrelationships. Sorry. Next is four types of relationships. Okay, these are till now the above are binders. Okay, binding factors. These are types of relationships in the sense how we think about enemies, relatives, friends, or soulmates, and how we have to be with our guru. How we have to be with our guru. We will discuss this. We have already discussed about interpersonal relationships in five spiritual tablets so far. As part of this topic, let us know about the four types of social relations. It's a continuation of the same tablet basically. We need to apply together. That's why this has been merged. Okay. To sustain the happiness and wisdom obtained through meditation, we must maintain proper social relations. Why we have to maintain means to sustain the happiness and wisdom which we obtain through meditation. That's why if we maintain healthy relationships, the wisdom and energy stays with us. The energy stays with us basically, and we will be happy always. Just like a banyan tree, when it grows full, it spreads all around. In the same way, when a person is happy, people all around him must be able to experience it. Only when we share our happiness with people around us, we can preserve our happiness. Okay? Our interpersonal relationships can be divided into four types: enemies, relatives, friends, or soulmates, guru. Enemies. Our relationship with enemies must always be neutral. We should not waste our time even by thinking adversely about our enemies. On the other hand, we should completely forget that an enemy ever exists in our life. Only then we can restrict the presence of an enemy in our life. However big or powerful he or she is, restrict them to an extent that he or she can barely touch our aura. Okay, so be neutral with your enemies in thoughts and actions. Basically, if you get that neutrality in our thoughts, automatically it will come in actions. No need to be externally display that. So that neutrality, mm, uh, you should try to achieve that neutrality in your thoughts. That's why that's how we need to utilize our meditational energy. Okay, even single thought also we should not think about enemies in an adverse way. Okay. And the second type is relatives. We should learn to maintain relationship with all our blood relatives, extended family, only to the extent that is required. At the same time, we should not snap our relations completely, nor should we indulge deeply into these relationships, thinking that our relations are the ultimate bonds of this world. So we should not go to extremes. We should maintain that middle path and maintain the relationship with relatives. And the third one is friends. Friendship is a very hearty relationship. We should share our happiness with our close, dear friends. Right? We generally tend to share our happiness or sadness, whatever it is. Immediately we call our friend and we tell them because he advises us. Right? That's why that's called friend basically. In troubles also, it is friend who come to us for our help. If anything, if we require, they'll help us. Never try to and with friends, you should never try to enforce spirituality onto them. Share the knowledge of it only when they ask for it. Always cherish and maintain the friendship. Until unless they ask, uh, once they ask, we should ready to share. Okay, that's how we have to put it basically with friends. And the guru or master, how we have to be with guru or master. We should only take knowledge of soul from meditators or gurus or masters. We should not share our material happinesses or sorrows with them. If we show interest in spiritual matters, our guru will be ready to share their deep spiritual experiences and teach their significance uh, with us. Instead, if we keep pouring our problems, they will completely avoid our company. Okay, that's how we have to be with meditators or guru or master. When we are in master's company, they impart their knowledge in the form of a concept during a conversation. So we need to be alternative in the present moment, in the presence of a guru. When in the company of enlightened masters, we should only discuss about those matters related to soul and enlightenment. With friends, of course, we can discuss spiritual matters where we can benefit mutually in the journey of spiritual science discovery. That means souls is here. In the same way, there is a chance of a relative who has the same bent of mind becoming your friend. Like in the sense, the relative also can be friend. At the time, you need to apply like how we treat the friend. In the same way, we need to treat the relative if he is becoming our friend. There is also a fair chance of enemy becoming your friend also. If you are neutral and non-reactive, then enemy also can be your friend. So by understanding and applying our knowledge of various interpersonal relationships and our spiritual attitude towards them, we will not only be in a position to maintain our relationship with them, but also acquire knowledge, love, and strength. In this way, we can create a world of happiness. Yes, friends, if you have any doubts, please ask. Hope the concept is clear. Hello, anybody has any doubts? I hope you understood some charts. Yeah. Thank you, Nazima. Okay, Bhushan sir, I'll share the PPT. Yes. Okay, let's wind up the session with 5 minutes meditation. Just be with your last 1 minute, masters. Last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just falls in the ocean in all the aspects. Say thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, masters, for joining the session. Thank you so much.